we are going to launch straight into our news of the week, brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. They have been in the business for well north of 30 years under the astute leadership of Holly Schneidewin. The team over there really works with people who are thinking about buying a house and finds the best lending solution for them. One thing you need to know about Eagle Mortgage, they are not a bank. They are mortgage brokers, meaning that they can shop a variety of banks and match you with the best one for you. That's the way to do it, because buying a house, big deal. Most people only buy a handful of them in their entire lives, and it's expensive. So you want to work with Eagle Mortgage, get the pre-approval letter before you go out and search the market, and you'll be happy that you did. You can find them online at eaglemortgagecompany.com or in person at 114th and Davenport.
I've got a tagline for Holly. It's they shop for your mortgage until the prices drop.
We'll pass that on to her. Okay, let's get into our news of the week. And the first item, Creighton University is interested in acquiring additional rights of way in its campus area. So the planning board is going to be reviewing a petition to vacate Burt Street from 17th to 20th, along with 18th Street from coming south to an existing pedestrian bikeway that runs through the campus south of Burt Street. Now, this vacation is contingent on Creighton's acquisition of adjacent properties, and the city's been working with them to try and make this all work out. But this is the area where a great deal of activity is taking place. In that general vicinity, construction is about ready to go vertical on the new 4 to 5 story sophomore residence hall. Mm-hmm. To the north of that, we expect construction to go vertical soon on Creighton's new maintenance and storage facility. And then at the heart of where all of these street vacations would be taking place is the new baseball and softball practice facilities and apparently stadiums, because it appears that Creighton will be moving out of Charles Schwab Field, I think usually 23,000 of the 24,000 seats are empty for their games, so it's kind of a letdown when you go in. And then there are all sorts of rumors floating around. We have not been able to get specific information, but all sorts of rumors about some impressive other buildings in that area, some of which could be Creighton, some of which could be by developers or a team up between developers and Creighton. We're hearing all of that right now.
I think it's awesome. These are permanent vacations, ladies and gentlemen, which is a good thing.
Well, I had my microphone off there for a moment. I see. I know your play on words, but yeah, when you vacate a street like this, it obviously a long-term, possibly forever
but
deal.
Are they doing that to build on that road, or are they using it as like a walking space and connectivity space?
My guess is there could be more of an emphasis on walking and connectivity, but actually both, because I think they have a lot of plans in that area, and I would assume that a baseball stadium is more than just a square block. I mean, because you think about all of the room it takes, the field itself.
Parking.
I would think it would be more than a square block for a baseball, even a small on-campus college baseball stadium.
Has their attendance, has the student body increased in size that much?
I don't know if it's driven by that as much as it is driven by the university's desire to keep growing and developing and remain an outstanding national university. But when I see press releases from the university, it looks like it does keep growing, but it's not like you're seeing these obnoxious attendance increases in 1 year. It seems to me like it's more of a good, steady, healthy growth.
Well, just like on the macro sense, when it comes to Omaha population, we need to retain as well as recruit. And so whether it's a college or a business or whatever, or the Chamber of Commerce, they have to take care of what's here and keep them happy, which we're doing a great job with all the amenities and entertainment options and job opportunities and everything else. It's a fight for within the college universe and the competitiveness among markets.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, for cities competing with one another, it can be pretty cutthroat recruiting talent. And for colleges, it's probably worse because demographics show us that there are fewer 18-year-olds than there were several years ago. That number is getting lower and lower. And so a lot of colleges really have to fight for that. You're also seeing, this doesn't affect a school like Creighton, which is, so highly rated and so well funded and so well established. But a lot of those very small private colleges, the ones with maybe fewer than 2,000 students or fewer than 1,000 students, you're seeing a lot of those go under. And you're seeing a lot of them that from an external glance, you wonder, how has it not gone under?
Yeah, it's competitive.
It's definitely a competitive world out there. Well, hey, Charleston Homes is planning a residential subdivision named Indian Ridge, 204th and Ida. This will be north of Indian Creek Golf Club, west of Flanagan Lake. More evidence that the single-family housing construction boom that is underway in that arch between Elkhorn and Bennington shows no signs of letting up. And speaking of development in the Elkhorn area, Trenton, this is a sign of the times. Construction has gone vertical on a for-rent neighborhood. The whole entire neighborhood is for rent. It's called Airy Blue Sage. Airy spelled Aerie, like the clothing store in the malls. Airy Blue Sage. Construction is well underway. Eventually we'll have 327 market rate residences. Some of these will be standalone cottages. Some will be duplexes, townhomes. There will be some low-rise apartment buildings in the area. But the entire neighborhood, and for a little bit of reference here, this is west of 204th Street, south of Blue Sage Parkway. So southwest of Elkhorn High School, if you can picture the area. It is not. But the thing that's interesting about it is every single unit will be rental. And some people refer to this, and we've had a little bit of this in Omaha before, but you're seeing it in other markets. Some people refer to this as build to rent. But what's interesting about it is from the positive side, it gives people a lot of options, cool new neighborhood with a lot of different living units for people that want to rent.
Even though a lot of them look exactly the same with the same color paint.
The negative side to it is it's a sign that our real estate market's getting really expensive, and that's tough on people.
It's a lot of control over big, giant developers, and I understand that, it's a trend across the country. And the other thing you're saying, too, is I wouldn't be surprised if they're all for rent, that conceivably you could take a 100-acre lot and not even subdivide it. And if you put in the streets and do all that kind of stuff, if you're not dedicating the streets to the city and stuff, which maybe they probably are, but basically there are developments around the country, and some people are trying to do them here, where you're building smaller houses. Usually no basements, which is weird here. They can't have basements, but 1 or 2 stories, 1,200 to 2,000 square feet, maybe more, and they put a big pool, a big common area, and maybe they have it gated or something like that. So it's really a detached apartments is what we're talking about.
Yeah, essentially they're because they'll have the amenities that an apartment complex would have, with swimming pools, and of course now every development's got to have pickleball courts, or I don't know how you could possibly rent it.
And there's a lot of side effects. When our guest comes on, I want to hear from him. But what's interesting is after World War II, the mantra was everybody gets to own a house, and this is a great thing. And now I know that those percentages are getting very skewed the other way, where people are owning their houses.
And in some ways that's fine, but from the other perspective, I've always believed and still believe that society is better when a large percentage of the population has skin in the game, where they've actually taken their money from their hard work and dedication and put it into something. It ties them to society. It makes them invested, and so there is a little concern about that. But yes, definitely the percentage of renters vis-a-vis owners in Omaha, like it has been nationally, is going up.
Well, that makes it just, this is maybe for a few more shows, but it just makes the population more transient, and it's easier to pick up and leave if you don't have to sell your house and take care of everything there. And, when communities were formed hundreds of years ago, it was by necessity to protect themselves and everything else. And now it's kind of like, we can just go on the road, and COVID didn't help that either. Just
as long as the transient lifestyle people pick up and leave for another place inside the Omaha area, we want to keep them. We want to keep them around here. Well, last week the Council Bluffs City Council approved a resolution to initiate bids on the West Broadway Extension Project. This has been funded by a $3.5 million grant from the Iowa West Foundation. It entails landscaping, irrigation, signage, improvement between 35th and 40th Streets. That's roughly the area around the newly constructed I-29, I-480 interchange and the western entrance to Council Bluffs. Couple thoughts there. Council Bluffs has done a great job overall with Broadway upgrades, and this is an extension of that. The other thing is, for a Grow Omaha nerd like me, that freeway interchange at 480 I-29 is absolutely amazing. And the thought of that being beautified and updated and cleaned up and made to look very, very pretty appeals to me.
I like how they label the interstate with I-29, I-80 and everything, so you can look down at the road and see where you're going.
Oh, you're talking about on the painted on the lanes. Oh, yeah, I do like that. I wish we did more of that on the Nebraska side. All right, one last story for you today. Union Pacific Railroad, proudly based here in Omaha for more than 150 years, has announced a 4-year partnership with U.S. Speed Skating. This is the organization dedicated to supporting speed skaters from local clubs all the way up to the Olympics. And UP will be an official sponsor. Now, the U.S. Speed Skating national team is based in Utah, and that's a state with long historical ties to Union Pacific and home to approximately 1,200 Union Pacific employees, and also the site of Promontory Point, where what happened?
It's the Golden Spike Ceremony.
Very good. The Golden Spike Ceremony, where he completed the Transcontinental Railroad.
General Grenville Dodge.
Yep.
The brother of N.P. Dodge, the founder of the company we affiliate with.
And N.P. Dodge was the guy who surveyed the entire route from Omaha to Promontory Point.
Transcontinental Railroad.
All right, that's your Omaha business history for the day and your news of the week, brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.